what are your feelings about property tax caps and writing them into the state constitution at this point?
Almost a year ago, I hosted a forum. I was kind of the MC for a forum for Watchdog Indiana, which is a citizens action group that was a huge proponent of the tax caps. The state legislature has passed everything they need to do, and now it is up to the citizens. We're going to vote in a referendum on November 2nd, and that will be decision time. I think it's a smart thing to do. The 1, 2, 3 step makes sense. And I think making it part of the Constitution will keep it more safeguarded from the tinkering of future generations of state legislatures. As a taxpayer and as a government official, I think it's smart to have things in place that keep the property tax funded entities in check. I think it's smart. I am a small government person. I think that government needs to figure out how to live within its means, and citizens, if they truly want more services, then they will figure out a way either through user fees or through voluntary assessments to fund them. And property taxes should be reserved for the most essential of services. And I think a lot of local governments get away from those essential services. These tax caps forces them to live back within a smaller budget, and I think gets them closer to what was the original intent of those entities.
Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of goes back to the original Senate Bill 1001, which I think the whole intent of that bill wasn't so much the property tax and to give tax relief, although that was a huge part of it.
Right.
I think the intent was to kind of put entities back into check.
Yes.
And to kind of get that balance again.
That's right. And it makes it a really, for the taxpayers, for the homeowners, and anybody that's paying property taxes, it's reliable for them. We've gone through a few years where we've been figuring out, and we've gone through a lot of transitions with our property tax system and the assessment system, but really going into the future, you're going to know 1% of your home's assessed value is what your taxes are going to be, and you can bank on that. There are no big surprises at tax time. You know what it's going to be. You know what your home's value is, and you know going through time that if they're big, I would love it if there are huge increases in everybody's home's values, because that means that our economy is flourishing again. That isn't necessarily the case right now, but I just think I think it's good for the people that are receiving the revenues, the local government entities, and it's good for the taxpayers because it's reliable for both of them.
Mm-hmm. And it really forces government entities to work together with each other
That's
as well.
Right. If you want to do more programs, then you figure out a way to partner with other people. We've hosted, actually, Allen County Auditor Lisa Blosser has, for the past couple of years, we've hosted a fiscal summit to bring together all those property tax funded entities in Allen County to talk about how they can share resources and how they can buy things together so they get a better price, and learn from each other about things they've done to become more efficient. And I think that's all good stuff. That's all, getting everybody to work together is one of the best things we can do.
Sure. Anything else going on with Paula Hughes that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I'm neck deep in campaigning right now. It's kind of fun this time of year because I've announced as early as I have that I'm running for mayor. I've been invited to a lot of candidate forums for this year's candidates, but they've kind of tacked me on to the end of it. So I'm double dipping a little bit. I get to talk to people early, and that's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's an entirely different realm from county council, but my background with the Downtown Improvement District and I used to run a chamber in Decatur and my family's business, all of that stuff seems to be coming together really well, and I've got people from all these different avenues that have been following me apparently for a while, and it's an exciting time. I'm having a lot of fun.
I think on that note we'll end. Paula, I really appreciate your time today, kind of sitting down with us and giving us the basics on land banking, and as usual, it's always a great conversation.
Well, thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.